What's up, everybody? It's your man, Dame DNYDC. Two mics up. It's Monday night. You know how we do on Mondays. Look, season 6 is rolling along. And look, I can't even tell you, man, how excited I am, man, because we gonna be rocking tonight with a very special guest, man. This brother, as he we lovingly, love his king reference. He's really, been in the entertainment field, bringing you, some of the best action, some of the best acting, and sometimes, when you come across a brother like, really strikes you like, why, has it been so difficult for so many other black male actors, with the talent as immense as this brother, why haven't we seen them featured, in more featured films? And we're gonna talk about that a little bit. I'm just curious to know, because we have a plethora of talent, that's out there, and this gentleman is one of them. So without, continuing the tease, ladies and gentlemen, joining me tonight on the other mic, is the amazing actor, the brother Rico Ball. Rico, how you doing this evening, man?
Man, I'm doing great, brother. I mean, I really am. I'm doing great.
And see, this is what I'm saying. I talked about it in the opening, man. We want to dive into it. But one of the things that stood out, and I always like to start with this question, you have a groundedness about you, very level, very even. Give us a little bit about yourself and your background, and where does that, that levelness and that humbleness come from?
Well, I was born and raised in Oakland, California, man, and I came up during the crack era.
Wow.
So I had to navigate through some of the craziest times on the planet,
Right.
So there's not a situation that I can't relate to. There's nothing that I haven't been through. So I think sometimes, when people catch me or they see me, it's something in me that reaches them, because I've been through everything you done been through, everything you can think about going through. My brother, my sister, I've been there. Now let's take the ride. So I think that's that.
And that's it. And a lot of people, we look at how communities turn. Like you talk about that crack epidemic. I grew up in New York, growing up in Brooklyn,
Okay.
in the borough. So
Yeah.
seeing what devastation looks like.
Yeah.
And then for someone like yourself, to be able to transition and be able to maneuver through that. First of all, that's an amen and a plus, right? For so many of our brothers out here.
Yeah.
But what was it though for you, Rico? That really got you, into acting. Going through that struggle and going through those times.
Wow, I think it hit me early on. I remember as early as maybe I was graduating from preschool,
Oh wow.
and yeah, we were doing a play, and we had this big skit going. I just remember being backstage and just experiencing just the lights and all the energy, and everybody was just excited, and I just felt at home, and I was like,
Mm.
wow, I remember just feeling it. And I
Uh-huh.
just remember this, just all the excitement. And I was like, this is it. Whatever this is me.
That
And then,
energy.
when the curtains, and then the curtains open and I saw the audience, I felt the energy, and hey man, I was hooked. I
That's
was
what's
I was
up.
hooked. But as a kid, like I said, growing up where I grew up, it just wasn't a tangible thing.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I was a tremendous athlete first.
Okay.
So I grew up playing ball. I was a two sport kid. And I later went on to college. And just had to turn the page, which led me back to theater.
Okay.
And then from there, hey, everything just took
Every
off.
and that makes me just think, like, listening to that, because so many of us, and I talk about it on the show. I really would like for so many of our men and women to realize, look, sports and being, that's part of our culture and who we are,
Yeah,
but we're so
yeah,
much more, right?
Mhm.
And just curious to know for you, you found that path, and you found that light and that way for you. But if you weren't acting or in
Mhm.
the entertainment industry, you know, we don't want I don't want to hear, the hard route. But what do you think you would be doing, if you weren't acting?
Man, I would be a freestyle artist, man. You
Okay.
know, yeah. I was, when I was younger, I was really into art. I could draw, and then a little crazy injury happened, and I just couldn't hold the pencil the same. So
Wow,
I kind of let it
really
go. Yeah, and I just pursued sports. And I said, hey, man, I got to get up out of here. I didn't feel like art was gonna get me up out of there. So
understood.
yeah, so I
Understood.
had to take the first train smoking.
I know that's right. And look, hey, look, it's paying off. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
definitely paying off, brother. Um, you know, also I'm here because I watched you. Had the pleasure. We talked before we really got on. Watched you in some work, some of your work. Um,
Hmm.
as an up and coming, because you still you've been around longer than probably most people really realize. One, because it took
Yeah,
me a
yeah,
minute.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But still up and coming
yeah.
though, man.
You and look, you
Yeah,
you go from your mouth to God's ears, like I like to
yeah,
say, man. You
yeah.
gonna get it.
Oh, it's done. It's
Oh,
already
period. And what is it, having had the ability to meet some greats, and some of the other talented artists, what do you see, I don't want to say your bucket list, but like what's a career inspiration that you would like to be able to say, yeah, man, I did that, yeah, that was me.
Ah, man. Honestly, I was just thinking about this the other day. I think, I would love to have my own show, man. Kind of like the
Okay.
character I played in Black
Like lightning.
Lightning,
Uh-huh. That's what's up.
Ishmael.
Yeah, man.
I would say like, yeah, a cross between Ishmael and something like the Equalizer.
Okay.
You know,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
somewhere in there, and I would just like to run that, and I like to be the showrunner, and I think something like that, I think that's when it would finally hit me that, hey, you know what, man, I did that.
yeah, yeah. Look, I'll
Yeah,
tell you, you're a bad brother, man. I
appreciate it,
mean,
man.
you Walking Dead, you
Yeah,
know, like I said, went back to, your TLC joint,
yeah,
playing
yeah.
Andre. Like, what was that, man? Because TLC at the time, and still, one of the greatest, female groups out.
Yeah.
And it was a rocky time too, with
Hmm.
everything that was going on, with Left Eye and Andre
Hmm.
Rison, the character that you played. Like, did you
Hmm.
have any contact, or were they able to give you any input on the set, as you were developing, Andre, and developing the role, as you guys were kind of going through the movie?
Crazy story, man. I was in a strip club one night.
Okay.
This was years ago, man. This was I want to say 2000, 2002, 2003.
Okay.
And I came to Atlanta to visit, and Andre Rison,
Oh,
he was
wow.
in shooting pool.
Okay.
So man, I was a huge fan of him. I always
Right.
wished I had a wide receiver like him. Man, if I had a wide
Right.
receiver like Bad Moon Rising. So I was already a huge fan. So I got to shoot pool with him one night. And I just remember, man, this dude is bad. He's that dude, right?
He's that dude. He was
And
that
and I
dude.
I just I just remember just studying like everything he did. I'm just a natural, you know, people studier. That's just what I
Hmm.
do. So years later, the role comes around, and I think I tried to reach out to him, but man, he was hard to he was hard to find. So I didn't really have to do much. All I had to do was channel that night, and
Mm.
I had everything, So
Wow.
and it landed me the role. So
Well,
yeah,
look, that right there, that challenge, that channeling energy, man,
yeah,
definitely works. And is that something? Because you hear, look, not in the industry, but you hear some people are method actors, or
right.
they go through different, means and ways to prepare for their roles, right?
Yeah.
Just curious, like for you, like do you have different ways that you prepare for a role, or is it based on the role, or what you read in the script, as how you go about developing your characters?
Man, I just learned to be vulnerable, to the
Mm,
moment.
mm.
You have to just You got to throw all the thinking out the window, and I
Mm,
just learned to be present. And once you learn to do that, there's another world that you step into. There's a spiritual world,
okay.
and once you can cross there, that world will tell you everything you need to do. You need to walk this
Oh,
way, make this move
wow.
that way. And
Wow.
and I think some of the most prolific actors that you see, you know they
Mm,
not only have real life experiences, which is the most important part, because you got to be able to relate somehow, some way.
right.
And those ones who can really focus, be present, and just dive into that, and just dive into that spiritual world. Magic comes in. So
Man, bro, you just not hit me, man. I mean, that got my head, my skin standing up because that's deep, and it's real, and not to make light of it, but that's deep when you can really draw on that because not too many people are really that in tune, if you will, with their inner self, and this makes me curious, like do you practice, just kind of taking time out, reserving space for yourself to get in touch with your inner core and your inner peace. Is that something that you added to your repertoire, something that you were always about?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually was in a horrible car accident like in
Oh, wow.
2020. And
Okay.
I think that was kind of God's way of forcing me to level up, and to dive
Okay.
within, just to take a whole nother step. And I started meditating a lot. And,
Mm.
I kind of got into fire breathing. So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I fire breathe, I meditate a lot. And, man, I've a whole new world, has
Mm.
kind of just opened up for me, man, like new portals.
Well, I
Portals
know
is
that's
like,
right.
yeah.
It's so true, and I bring that up because I similar situation. 10 years ago, I was on my deathbed. I talked about it
Mm,
before, and it's
mm,
different when a lot of times you don't get a second chance in life. And same thing, right? I remember after going through my ordeal, uh, and I could just smell grass differently. Even to this day, I still when I open it first thing in the morning, the grass still smells fresh, as with the dew and everything. I see the sky differently. I see
yeah,
people differently. And
yeah.
it's one of those things like I remember laying there when the doctor said to my wife, look, we don't know what's gonna happen with your husband. But if you're a faithful woman or a prayerful woman, now's the time to pray. And I'm looking at my wife and my daughter. I'm like, God, this can't be it for me. I
Yeah.
know you've got to have something greater in store. And he walked me through it. Now I listen, to those things. I've learned to, like you say, find that inner peace. Take that tick sometimes when before you just want to run it and rush right through it,
Oh
right?
man. Yeah.
And now you listen to that tick and you find your center and you find your core. And just tell me wrong because I've been able to, not like I wasn't blessed before, but like the real blessings.
Hmm.
I've been really blessed to one be able to do something like this, but
Yeah.
just my whole life has changed. Through
Oh,
that, and I hear that from you. And that's why
yeah.
I just wanted to share that quick story, bro.
Oh man, that's an amazing story, man. You just made my week.
Hey,
I
hey,
love to hear it.
hey, man, this is what I love, man. Like I said, you get that, you have these moments. You meet someone, that we as fans,
Yeah.
we love the celebrity that we see, but to be able to talk to
Yeah.
you personally, really hear some life stirring moments, man, is really what it's all about. Um,
Yeah.
and with that, talking about celebrity, the
Right.
highs and the lows. Like I said, we only see the good side. Like
Yeah.
now, you guys coming out of this, the strike. Thank goodness, prayerfully,
Hmm.
things prayerfully things will get back, to some type of normalcy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but what do you see, and what was the impact, for you, if you don't mind me asking? You having to maneuver life, through that period of time where I know you're probably like, man, where am I getting work from, or what am I going to do next?
Yeah. You know what? So many things happen. I mean, I got married during the
Wow,
strike.
congratulations,
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you, man. So, we did the wedding, we did the honeymoon. So I just lived life. I try not to worry too much about it because, like whenever I thought about it, oh man, you just go into this deep dark. Oh, like, when is it going to happen? I had so many projects lined up, we was
Right.
counting on this, counting on that, so we just turned, me and my wife and our kids, we just turned to each other and we just lived. We had
Wow.
fun.
Wow.
And so yeah.
I love that.
That's how I got through it. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, man. I'm happy for you to to hear that you and your wife and were able
Yeah.
to go
Thank
ahead
you.
and celebrate
Yeah.
the union.
Yeah.
But I want to take a minute too. Like we said,
Mm,
now that the strike is over, and we'll get to
right.
hopefully some work that you're going to be working on in the future. But when you look back,
Mm,
across maybe your career at the roles and the things that you've been involved in,
mm.
um, is there one that stands out to you as maybe the most difficult for you, maybe to either get into character or prepare for, or just to deal with on set? That maybe you could talk about. It was just like, man.
Yeah. Actually, I did one. It was a independent film. It circled a lot of film festivals and did well. It was
Mhm.
long. It was a while back, and I'm glad it was early on.
Okay.
Um, the guy was a rapist,
Oh wow.
and it was just the hardest. It was the hardest thing for me, man.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
cause,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
think I
can see
needed this. Yeah, yeah,
I can see it playing back in your face, like
yeah, no,
yeah, that's a hard, that's a nah. And
yeah.
those are
It's
the
like,
parts that we don't see. For you to
yeah,
be able to eat, right? Like those are some of the roles that you had to take early on, right?
yeah,
Um, like when I started out, the show, top of the show, talking about brothers in the industry, and looking from the outside, from having a couple of other guests on, just talking about it kind of off air. How difficult is it to one have a strong brotherhood, if you would, of other brothers, kind of supporting each other and
mm-hmm,
encouraging each other in Hollywood. And if
mm-hmm.
that happens, like, is it really legit? Like, is it there? Because a lot of times, like I said, being on the outside as a man, as a black man, you don't really right. You laughing, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you answer that one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a real cliquish. It's a real cliquish thing, man. It's like
Right.
it's like everybody has a tribe, and
Mm,
everybody finds their tribe, and if you're part of that tribe, if that tribe is really your tribe, then yeah, it's going to be genuine, but
mm,
I do know that as black men, unfortunately, we have a tendency to have trouble celebrating each other, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
when it's like one brother rising out of the group, for some reason not everybody's all that happy for him. So
Mm,
but that doesn't happen all the time, but I've seen it happen
mm. Yeah.
quite a bit.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
um, but you can't really worry about that aspect of it. You just got to move, with a loving heart, and just pray that your tribe is for you and that you're for that tribe.
Right.
And yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a difficult thing, but like the best relationships are just genuinely formed, like it's
Right.
organic,
Right.
so it's like
Right.
some people try to they try to jump in these tribes because they feel like it's going to benefit them, it's going to skyrocket them. And, I mean,
Right.
sometimes it works, most times it don't. um
Right.
but there's different I've seen a lot of pluses and I've seen a few minuses, but for the most part,
Mm.
like I said, every click is different.
Every click is different, and that's
Yeah.
true. I mean, that sounds like just life itself.
Yeah.
You got your crew,
Hmm.
from your home base.
Hmm.
I might have mine, but I will say I found that as I've gotten older, your day ones are great, but
Yeah.
after a while, you can only really talk about all of the things that you used to do,
Yeah.
and your day twos are really more about your here and now,
Right.
and the life that you're living. So
Yes.
have you, and just out of curiosity, has it been a thing where you've been able to make new connections that have really been beneficial, not only in your career, but, and again, not, I won't dig too personal, but
Yeah.
to be able to profit, and kind of build your portfolio and build your generational wealth, if you will, for you and your family. Has that been something that's been a plus on the side for you in the acting industry?
Yeah. I mean, it takes a while, for
Mm-hmm.
people to know you and for people to trust you. But yeah, I've been able to establish some amazing friendships, with some A-listers, man. So it's just but it's genuine.
Right,
I probably could have sliced my way into all type of cliques and but it's
right.
just if it's not real, it's
It ain't
not
real.
real, man.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I've never, thank God, man. I've never had a bad, just a bad relationship with someone, and couldn't stand to be around someone.
Okay.
Golly, I would hate that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would hate that. But I've had to avoid some people, and
Mm-hmm.
I just rather, I'll just go left, they go right. But
Keep it pushing. Keep it
yeah.
keep it pushing.
Hey, man, it's a here today, gone tomorrow business.
True.
So when I see people, acting crazy, or they got the nose all in the air and they stuck up, I'm like, man, anything can happen.
And that's
You
true.
know, they will forget about you in less than
In a heartbeat.
36
Mm.
hours. Yeah.
That's real.
So
That's
always,
real.
always, yeah. So always cater to the more grounded.
And so that's what I say, man. I got to start out from the top, man. You just seem like you're just the most humble type cat, man. You just real cool, real laid back. I see you got your Warriors hat on.
Oh,
You know, yeah,
Warriors
I see. All right, from the Bay.
all
So,
day.
what
Yeah.
kind of noise? What kind of noise can we expect? From the Warriors in the second half of the season.
Oh man, we're gonna always turn that championship mode on, so it's gonna be exciting second half, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
now
Splash
I
Brothers
got
gonna get busy.
okay. So two questions, real quick. With
Yeah.
that. So Draymond with the choke. Was that? I'm just look, bro. Was that enough of a suspension? Because I think he should have got more. And I'm not a Draymond hater. Look, I'm not a Warriors hater. I actually like
Yeah,
the Warriors, but
yeah. Nah, I mean, he didn't throw no punches. He
he
just
choked,
kind of
choked the
grabbed him in
cat
the
out.
head.
He
Yeah. Nah.
choked him out, putting him
Hey
to
man, that's
sleep.
just Draymond. Draymond being Draymond, man. You know what I always say? I would love him as a teammate, but man,
Exactly,
I would hate to play against him. I would hate
exactly.
him. So
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. You gotta have that dog, man. You gotta have that
Yeah.
dog in the house, man. For real,
Oh
he's
yeah,
definitely a
yeah. He's
dog.
necessary.
Necessary.
The Drake minds are necessary.
Yeah. So Clay, Clay is one of my favorite players in the NBA, man. I think he one of the greatest shooters of all time.
Yeah.
Is it time? Is it time now? Because I know they had the same conversation with Dre last season. But is it time for Splash Brothers, man? Just to be Splash, because I don't see the same explosiveness
Yeah.
anymore.
I mean, just out of respect, I would
Mm,
try to give it another year, just to see if
okay.
he could shoot his way out of this slump, man. Because
Okay.
he's still Clay. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
just out of pure respect. I would like to see him finish out this season, bring him back
Okay.
next year for sure.
Okay. All right, I just
Yeah.
had to get that in there. I couldn't walk away without getting into that Warriors business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
talk too much. My Knicks ain't been too good for a minute, but we trying
Hey
to get over
man,
that
they
hump.
had a chance, man. They really had a chance to be, and they still do though. Nah, they
It's
gonna be all right. The
with
Knicks
with
gonna be
man
good.
with the management, man. The management is
Yeah,
trash,
the
but
management is killing it.
it's
So much
killing it.
talent has been through there the last 3 seasons.
And that's why I try to be patient,
Yeah.
but it's why
Oh
sometimes you watch other
man.
squads from afar and
Yeah.
watch championships go up in other buildings. But it is what it is.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, I just want to change lanes, man. We're coming to the back end, man. Like time really flies, man, when you're having a great conversation.
No
Um,
doubt.
I, one thing that I do also like to ask when I have a chance to have an actor or an actress on,
Yeah.
like you talked about creating your dream role, earlier, and
Mhm.
you know I want to give a little more specific into that, right?
Mhm.
Because to be able to let's say write that narrative or write that story, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
What would you specifically like to see, especially I'm really trying to narrow this down to a black character, to a black male lead,
Mhm.
in that role. What would you specifically like to write and see, come across in your work that you're writing and representing, for others to see?
Man, I just want to see him change the use mindset. Just to
Mm.
kind of just to kind of deter their minds from the poison that's being thrown at them every
Wow.
day, constantly, and to try to wake them up
Wow.
early on, and to guide them in the right place. I know that's going to be a hard fight because they don't want to see that, but I want to see it, and
All
it's
right.
time. Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree, and that's really what I like. That I like to ask that question sometimes because we live in such a negative time.
Hmm.
Everything at your fingertips is negativity. And this platform is really about trying to bring about positivity, try to bring about positive energy, through gentlemen such as yourself, man. You just do not have any idea how much of a breath of fresh air you have been for me this evening. And I can only hope that those who watch this or listen to this, feel the same energy, brother, man. You are a true pleasure. You're a gem. You know what I'm saying? And I wish you nothing but the best.
Man,
But
thank you
before
so
we go, Rico, hey, my pleasure, bro. Is there anything that you want to share? Anything that you maybe have coming up and in the near future that you want to share real quick? Your social media.
Oh man, I got a couple projects that
Okay.
I just finished, but they're pilots. I can't really speak on it right now, but
Okay.
man, everybody's gonna love it. Everybody's gonna see it, and I pray that everyone is gonna love it. Like I know they're gonna love it. So,
I know
um,
that's right.
yeah, yeah, and then with the strike and everything, things got pushed back a little bit. So, it's gonna be exciting and a booked and busy 2024, man. Yeah.
I can't wait, brother. I really can't wait, to see you on the screen again. Ladies and gentlemen, look, this was the king, as he lovingly likes to say, Rico Ball, man. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for taking time out tonight, man, and continue
I
success.
appreciate you. Thank
All
you so
right.
much. All right, D.
Nice. All right, man. So there you have
What
it,
up?
ladies and gentlemen. You can go ahead. You can go ahead and follow, Rico on IG. I am Rico Ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make sure to go out and support him and everything else that he has coming up. And that's a wrap for us here tonight. Two mics up. I'm your man, Dame DNYDC. You can follow Two Mics Up across social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And season 6 is rolling along. Mogul TV Global Network, the #1 network for positive programming. Look, man, we in 32 countries now, y'all. Million
Mm.
subscribers. Yo, we hitting them, 50 downloads and streams a month. Make sure you come check Two Mics Up. You check me out, check us out, check all my network mates out, man. We looking to bring you something positive each and every night. And you know how we do, ladies and gentlemen, as we close out. I'm just gonna leave you with a couple of things. Stay safe, stay blessed.
Bless. Mike's out.